up, run it up, let it go. You move on, move out, you never know.
Okay, so what's your alias?
I am.
Funkslave?
No, I'm Basic the Bassist.
Basic the
Funkslave is like a tag, right? Because like back in the day, I used to be like, okay, follow me at Basic the Bassist, and people was like, Basics, the Basics,
People always messing up people's names.
Oh man, and like I was like, people know how to spell funk.
Yeah.
People know how to spell slave. I'm a slave to the funk. That's all it is, But now people start calling me Funk Slave, and I'm like, okay, but that's not really what I was going for. Cause like then people want to like nickname me Funk, and I'm like,
as long as they're not nicknaming you Slave.
that is real.
Cause that would be crazy.
That would be wild. I would not. I wouldn't have it, especially.
I wouldn't have it.
Let some non-black people start coming, man. It'd be an issue.
And that's it for me.
We have to dead that, but yeah, Funk Slave,
Okay.
That's where that came from. But I'm just Basic the Bassist.
Basic the Bassist.
Yeah. For those who know, my music, and then if you know me for real, I'm just Aaron. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so welcome back to Slim Charlie Records, y'all. I'm here with Basic the Bassist.
What's up?
Also known as a few other names. But tell us, who you are, what you do, and where you're from.
Okay, so I'm Basic the Bassist. The name sort of speaks for itself, but I play more than bass. I play bass. I get down on guitar a little bit, and I'm trying to get into keys a little bit. But like even more than playing bass, I'm a lyricist. Like lyrics are like what I put a lot of energy into, and so I rap, I sing, I write, and I make beautiful jewelry, handmade jewelry. Hit me up.
Word.
Yeah,
I'm learning things.
Man, I should have brought you some. You should have brought you some swag.
Yeah, you feel me? Get
Just
me a
hold up.
line.
You gotta invite me back to the crib. I'll bring you some swag.
My chakras right.
Yeah, we're gonna get you straight.
Sure. So.
And I'm originally from Indianapolis, but currently I'm living in Baltimore.
So hence the accent.
Yeah, well, kind of. I think the accent is like a combo of, the Indianapolis sort of like very straightforward Midwestern, very clear cut like speak, but also mixed with like my dad's like he's from California, and they got their own kind of like Western swag. You know what I'm saying?
It's a bit of a drag.
Yeah, so like, and people say I sound like my dad all the time, especially out in Indiana, because nobody talk like him. So it's like, that's where it comes from.
Wow. So how long were you living there?
Man, I was living in Indiana for probably about like maybe like 18 years, from like birth till like I went to college.
So you was developed
I was developed in Indianapolis, and like I was like a loner, yeah.
Wait, so look, I'm not slow, but like Indiana and Indianapolis, like
Indianapolis is the capital of Indiana. It's like dead center.
Indianapolis, Indiana. Okay, it's coming back to me now. I had to go back to grade school for a second.
You're good. There's actually two Indianapolises. Oh. There's one in Indiana, and that's a city, that's the capital. Yeah. And then in Illinois, there's another Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, Illinois. Okay.
Right? Isn't that wild?
I'm learning things.
Yeah, we are. It's wild. I think there's another Baltimore out here somewhere too, like
there
up in the Midwest. You know what I'm saying?
There is.
So
definitely
it happens.
Baltimore. So I think this is my first time ever even meeting anyone from Indianapolis. So like we getting real cultured on this show. Okay.
You already know.
Period. So talk to me about how you learned how to play bass, like when you first picked it up.
Okay, so the story I tell people is like, when I was, coming out of elementary school, right? There weren't a whole bunch of tall, like, 5th graders, everybody's short. But I was black and I was pretty tall, so they were like, we got this super tall instrument. It was the upright bass. They were like, why don't you give it a try? And I was like, yeah, I can do this.
Like the school band?
No, this was like just me being introduced to it, right?
Okay.
And so like they were like, try it out, and I plucked a few strings. I was like, yeah, this is cool. Well, they picked it for me, the way I remember it. And so I went to middle school and I got placed in like the orchestra.
Okay.
Right? And then from there, you know, I was, learning the orchestra pieces, learning the bass parts, but like bass, compared to like the other instruments in the orchestra, is like the most simple, most boring parts. Like you're just basically counting rests. And so like I get bored and I start like playing stuff like, you know, that I liked. I think like 808 and Heartbreak came out by Kanye West. And remember Love Lockdown, the dun 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 dun. I would be playing that like that was like the first bass line. I was like, you know, I'm gonna teach myself.
Yes.
And ever since
everyone has a first song.
Yeah.
That was your first song.
That was my first song.
Okay.
And I think like after that it was the bass line for Brick House. That was a fun one to play.
Okay.
And then like, you know, I just started, you know, teaching myself some stuff, you know, playing around with it. You know, I took it to high school and they had like a talent show every year.
Yeah.
So I participated every year. And usually I would like group up with like somebody else just because I was like a shy little like nerdy kid. And then that last year of high school, I did the talent show and I won first place.
First place?
First place, you know what I'm saying? And there was about 1,000 people per class, and I won first place in the whole high school. I mean, I
would have been stoked.
Right.
That's something to brag about like forever.
You know, and I was like, I gotta keep it going. So then
high school is tough, so yeah.
Man, high school is tough, and there's some talented people out there.
Right. So yeah.
So
you're self-taught.
So I learned in the orchestra, right? I learned all the basics. I learned scales and notes.
Yeah.
Not really chords, but like I got into it. I did like 1 year of jazz band. And then like when I went to college, Howard University wouldn't let me like, I couldn't, my bass was too big. It was like too big to bring to school. And I was in this like tiny single dorm. It would have taken up half my dorm. So like they were like, you don't have a bass and you're a science major, so we're not even gonna let you participate in any of the music classes. Like you don't even get to audition. Like I showed up, I was like, you know, can I use an instrument? They were like, no. They were like, you know, because people who are like majors and like dedicating their lives to like learning music, they were like, those are the people that are getting like C's and D's. What chance do you have? And I was like, I was so upset and hurt and sad.
Yeah.
So I had to like basically pick up the guitar because I didn't have a bass, and I went to like this open mic night across the street from Howard University. It was called Spit That. And from there I just started doing my thing, you know, rapping, competing with the other like artists, and it was such a like loving environment. Wow. And so that's like and so it was like I had to self-teach myself like on like guitar, but like growing up, you know, I had classes, I had lessons and stuff, but I would still do my own thing with it.
Right. So I mean, I hear you when you're plucking your strings and you got your lyrics vibing coming out. So I mean, tell me what the writing process has just been like for you over time. Like when did you get into it? You know, what's your genre? What's your pocket?
That's a more like intricate one because like I feel like I like go in and out of genres. I don't really try to like confine myself, but like I do have inspirations from like soul and neo soul, hip hop, R&B, and you know, as I've like grown and developed, I've incorporated like improv jazz and like funk, of course, and like even rock, you know, alternative rock and like punk and like, you know, and as far as the writing process goes, it's just like I want it to rhyme. I focus on the rhyme and the articulation of it, and like rattling it off feels good. Yeah. But like sometimes when I'm writing, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But like like when I listen to my lyrics or when I read them, or when like it becomes relevant and it becomes a part of my life. And then like recently I've really been like speaking to like things, actual events that have been happening like currently in my life. And so it's been an evolution, but like the intricacy of it and like the complexity of it and like the articulation of it is like what I really focus on when I'm writing.
I love that. So, who are some of your inspirations in music?
Okay, so we got a list. Like Black Thought, Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, Kendrick Lamar, Andre 3000, Music Soul Child, John Legend, Anthony Hamilton, just to name a few. And that's like going back to the old days. Like, you know, I mentioned Kanye. Kanye's up in there. Bill Withers, you know, like NDRE. NDRE. Who else? Leanne LaHavis.
Leanne LaHavis, that's the one I haven't heard before.
Oh yeah, she's nice with it, cause that acoustic sound and just vibing and making you feel like good. Yeah, she's killer. You know, and then there's like, you know, Gorillas. There's like I used to listen to Panic at the Disco a little bit. You know, I used to what else? Like Boosie Collins. Boosie Collins. Yeah, Boosie Collins and James Brown.
Well, I know who James Brown is.
Yeah, okay, so Boosie Collins was the bassist for James Brown.
What?
Yeah, and he broke off and did his own thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you being a bassist, like, who are your top 3?
Top 3 bassists. So there's Mono Neon. He's like really cool. He was like one of the last like bassists that like Prince ever had. And I got to meet him in real life. I did a show at this place called the Creative Alliance, and like literally the night before, his band Ghost Note had a performance. So we went and saw the show, and I got to meet him, and I gave him a crystal necklace that I had made. And he was like, "Yeah, man, this is cool." And I was like, "You got some advice for me?" He was like, "Man, just keep practicing." And I was like, "Okay, that's simple enough." He was just like, "Do it all the time."
Just do it all the time.
You know, and I do what I can. I got other stuff going on, but I do what I can.
Right.
And so Mono Neon's probably like my favorite because I met him in real life. And then I say Boosie Collins is the second because he got like the star glasses, got the funk going on, got the swag. He's nice. And then you know, Thundercat is just crazy with it. Yeah, Thundercat. And he's like doing his own thing too, because he's like singing and playing the bass, and he got real like lyrics that are like really like him. He's not just talking about some generic stuff. I'm sure he do, but like he do his own thing, and he don't really even need a band. You know, he just be rocking.
And so I'm just like wondering, like, can a bassist be? Because I honestly don't know. Like, can a bassist support themselves as a vocalist as well, just as a one sound?
Well, if they can, then I'm doing it, and if they can't, then I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's my sweet spot. You know, as Basic the Bassist, I am a vocalist, and like me doing it independently, right? I get to like vibe with myself.
Yeah.
Right, and so I'm never out of key, and I'm never off beat, right? Because I am the beat. I'm the music,
right,
and I'm the vocals. You know what I'm saying? There's no separation. There's no discord.
Yeah.
Unless I intentionally do so, or unintentionally do so, which you know happens. But
I just always have wondered that because, you know, like usually I didn't learn about bass until recently when I met Jessica Lauren, like a while ago.
Super
like
close friend.
I didn't learn how important that, you know, a bass could be until, you know, I had got to know her, and then you, of course, and just kind of listen to what a bass sounds like accompanying like an electric guitar or, you know, other instruments. And so I just always wondered, I'm like, does anyone ever just play bass and that's like the only instrument? Like, is that possible? Like, is that a thing?
Yeah, it is a thing.
I guess he'll show me
tonight. I'll show you what we're working with, but it's definitely a thing. And you know, I'm not even like the top of the top. You know, Jess, like shout out to her. She got mad skills. She's like super virtuoso and has like real dexterity, and like
she's amazing.
Is even teaching kids. You know what I'm saying? Teaching people how to play bass. And she's, you know, doing her own thing with it too. So like, and that was like, it was really important, like the curation of our friendship and our, you know, connection, because like to see somebody else who's out here and who's doing it on the bass and like rocking it and still doing their own thing, even if it's like in private, you know, it was real eye opening and was something that I could really connect to.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Not feel alone in the journey. You know what I'm saying? That's important.
So, I mean, where do you want to take just your whole life? Like, what is it that you want to do? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Well, see, I wanted to be on like big stages. I mean, I love being on stage and performing and like feeling the vibes of like the people out there. Having a good time listening to my music, or really enjoying what I'm doing, or really like, just like giving me positive feedback, positive energy, and feeling that in themselves, like me giving that to them, or connecting with the music and the experience and the emotions that I convey, right?
Yeah.
So I would love to be on big stages and doing my thing, but it's a journey, and I only am in the eternal now, right? I'm always in the moment, and the beauty of the moment is like where the best musical moments come from. So right now it's about just being who I'm with, making music with who I'm with, right? And just really loving that and embracing that, even if that doesn't necessarily manifest into that dream that I see. It's about loving where I'm at and the people I'm around. And there are tons of beautiful, loving, talented people up in Baltimore and all around. And I love connecting with them and meeting with them and vibing with them. Like, we were just talking about John Tyler. He's one of those guys who's just like super down to earth, super chill. But he'll hit me up and he'll be like, come do a music video with me. Or he'll hit me up and be like, I need an instrument. Like, or he'll hit me up and just like, he's super like, and he's a super beautiful soul. He's not like big headed or nothing, but he's like really trying to connect people, and he's really trying to like make a decent sound and like and promote like people and bring them together with his like Love Groove Festival, right?
Yeah.
I got off on a tangent, but like
No, like I get it though. Like that's life right now.
That's
it's
life
the
right
connections, it's the friends that turn to family.
Yeah.
And it's the music. So all I wanted to know was just that you wanted music to be a part of like your big future.
Yeah, I want it to be. It's something that I couldn't give up even if I wanted to. And there have been times where I've wanted to like walk away from it, but it's just it's a part of me. It's the way that I get through the toughest times, and I express myself even in my lowest moments. And
When were the times that you felt like you wanted to walk away? Like what was going on?
So like I've been through a lot recently. Like I was working really hard coming out of college to like establish myself in Baltimore so that I didn't have to move back to Indiana, because I love Baltimore and I love the people here so much, right? And there's such a scene, and there's so many like opportunities, not just in Baltimore but like in Philly, in DC, in New York, and I saw myself growing here. So I was fighting for it with my partner at the time, with my girlfriend at the time, and we had a baby, we had bought a house, right? So we were trying to live that life. I was working a job, I was working hard. I was like, I was working hard, and I was supporting the family, and I was doing my thing, but the relationship was falling apart. You know what I'm saying? And it was a real low moment, because it was I felt like I wasn't really receiving the love that I deserved for all the work that I was putting in, and because there wasn't necessarily like a great rapport with like my family in Indiana, because of that sort of discord, I had sort of there was friction, right? And I didn't really have the support that I wanted. So when the relationship started falling apart and I started having to change my life, that's when I was like wanting to like be reclusive and recede back into myself. And I mean, honestly, I did step away from the scene for a while, you know what I'm saying? But, coming out of that, and learning how to self-love and love myself even when I wasn't being loved by others, and come back into my own energy and rejuvenate, like that's where my like Aku no Aki project came out. It literally I can't talk about that part, but it literally came off of that breakup and off of another sort of breakup, like within the midst of that, and it brought me peace. And it was during a time where I was learning to like forgive myself for some of the missteps and forgive, you know, the other person, and like and grow and still try to like curate the life that I wanted, right? So moving past all that, you know, I sort of like built my life back up from the ground up, and I had help, you know, from my current partner doing that, and I you know, got to a place of stability. Well, you know, during this time my mom had been diagnosed with cancer.
Wow.
And so it happens. But and I recently, you know, lost her in August, and then I lost my grandfather in February, and then I lost my grandmother in March. And so like while I, you know, have and through that whole process, like music has been like keeping me going, but like so much stuff has been happening in my life, and so many big changes that are out of my control have just been happening, that it sometimes puts me in that space where it's like, you know, I gotta take a break from the scene. I gotta come back into my own energy. I gotta grieve. I gotta, you know. But like I said, it's a part of me. Even if I wanted to like walk away, this is like, it's what I love to do, and it's what feeds me. It is a form of self-care. So yeah.
Really, all of my condolences, our condolences from the Slim Charlie family.
I appreciate it. You know?
But I mean, like, grief it has no image. And, you know, I'm really glad that music is able to be there for you, because, I mean, it's so easy to, like, push back from it, like, when you're going through something like that. So I'm glad that it's actually able to be there for you, because my first thought would be to push back as well, because usually it doesn't help me when I'm going through stuff. But whenever it's in a position to help you, like, that's a really beautiful thing, because outlets can be so hard to find. But I mean, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Glowing.
I'm here, and you know, we keeping it moving, right? We still doing our thing.
Absolutely. What has been, I guess, like, your favorite thing about Baltimore since you've been here?
Favorite thing about Baltimore is by far like the people.
Yeah.
Like I think in Indiana it was real difficult because I didn't have like too many people that looked like me that I could relate to. Right. And it's not like Indianapolis is not like a walkable city, right? But here I could walk up the street and like I see friends. I run into people at the store.
Yeah.
And just like there's a sweet nature to people. Like, you know, another story, like I'm a nerd, you know, I'd be like buying some like, you know, trading cards or whatever. So I went up to the store, you know, and I was just chatting the dude up, you know.
Yeah.
And he couldn't ring my card up, so he was like, you know what? Go ahead and just take that. And I was like, for real? You know, just like little moments like that where just like people are just like looking out for you a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm glad you are having a good time. Like, for real. I be like talking so much smack about my town. Not all the time. Like, I love the music scene right now. Like, it's getting somewhere. But I be talking so much smack about my city just because I want to experience living somewhere else. Yeah,
and when you've lived somewhere your whole life, like I was living in like Indianapolis, you know, and you've done all there is to do. You done seen all the parts. You done been to all the, you done played all the games. You know, it's like you feel like there's nothing to do, but then like when you go and you explore the world, it just like opens up to you. And I think that's another thing I like about Baltimore. It's just like it's so close to so many cool, unexplored new places. Like you could take, you know, I could take $25, go up to New York, or I could take a 3-hour drive, hit Philly up for a little bit.
Yes.
Or I could take an hour drive and literally be in DC with all the museums and all the people, no restrooms, but like everything else, you know, DC's cool. Right. You know what I'm saying? Tons of shows, tons of people, tons of vibes. But you know, and I learned the difference between the DMV and Baltimore. You know what I'm saying?
'Cause it is a difference.
It is a difference.
It's a difference.
Let me tell you.
So, crap, I forgot what question I was just about to ask you.
We can edit it out.
Yeah, I probably will. I had it like in my head, but it like left me. Oh, who in your family are you the closest to?
I think I have to say my dad. You
Yeah.
know, and in my immediate family, he's like the one that's left. And then, you know, my sister's in Denmark. So even though we're kind of close, like, it's just harder to, like, reach out and get in contact with her. So, like, my dad is here.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like my biggest support system, you know. He's just super cool. He's an old man. He be smoking cigars and drinking his, you know, whiskey and playing golf and, like, grilling. You know, doing his little old man swag stuff. But, like, I love him. He's a cool dude. And yeah, he's probably the one I'm closest with right now.
What's the most valuable lesson you feel like he taught you?
Listen. It's simple, but like if you really want to like, if you really want to like love somebody or you want to get to know somebody, you don't just talk at them or talk over them. You listen to them. Yeah.
I like that. Listen.
Yeah, and I do that with like people, and I think that's like what like really connects me to them, and like less than, you know, because I got a personality, you know, I can talk, I can spit a little bit, but like I think when I listen to people and I give them like an accurate response, right, or like a real response, or come from a real place to what they were just saying, that's when they're like, oh, he's kind of like, there's something special about him. At least I hope that's what people say, you know.
You're probably spot on.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Where can people find your current work?
You can find me on Instagram at funkslave, right? And then you can find me on you know, all platforms. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, Basic the Bassist.
And what is your favorite song that you've created?
Oh,
You can name more than one if it's difficult.
I'll give you like top 3.
Okay.
So like there's this one song called Egress, and that song, it's the idea came from like an Adventure Time episode, and I think it was like the most impactful episode to me, because it's like he goes into this hall of egress, and he appears out of it, but like he has to like close his eyes to like get out of there, and every time he opens his eyes, he's right back in the same place, right? So if you Adventure Time fans, if you like Finn and Jake, I would check it out. And that song was really about like, you know, during COVID, like there's all these people that I love that are like so distant, and like even though I can't see them like physically be there, it's like I can see them in my mind. You know, I can feel them in my mind. And so that was just like the expression of that, and I hope they heard that and felt that, and I hope that carried. You know, and I hope that carries to people who are going through something similar. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because it be like that. You know, distance can be a great tool to build you up, but it can also be really difficult. Egress. And then there's Moonlight. I do that one a lot. And that one is like just like real like dark and like fast and just like energetic. And then but the chorus is like settle down.
Wow, sounds like my vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe. And then I think like the third would be I have like this medley that I do, and I call it a pleasurable medley. But like the main song that it's based off of is like Pleasure.
Okay.
And it sort of goes through like all of these like sort of like pleasurable but also kind of like masochistic like sensations and imageries like and it's another one that's like kind of fast and like hyped up but like but yeah, that's what I do it for. That, you know, when it comes to like divine like inspiration and like true authentic like energy, it's like I do it because it's like pleasurable. And that's the stuff I love doing. Things that are pleasurable, and enjoyable, and you know, the thing I always try to bring to like the table is like I always lead with love, and my intention is to create memories and moments that are peaceful, powerful, and joyful. That's what I'm all about.
And that's just the way life should be.
That's the way it should be. That's what I think.
Alright, well, would you like to play for the people?
I would love to play for the people. Let's get it going.
Play for the people.
Alright.
I'm so excited. This is a live performance.
Live performance.
Y'all have to watch on TV. This is live for me. I'm so excited.
Tell me you love me, girl, you. Tell me you love me, girl, you. Tell me you love me, girl, you. Tell me you love me, is it true? Is it? You should be telling me lies, I ain't too good at goodbyes. I should be running, no, I should be ducking, no, I should be cutting the ties. You just be pulling them strings, you just be pulling my chain. You just be feeling the feelings you give your girl, I just be feeling the pain. You say you looking for love, I might be looking to leave. Heard your confession, you want the possession, protecting the thing that you need. You got my heart in the palm of your hands and you're planning on letting it bleed. Don't give a damn if it wasn't your man and you manifest what you believe. You tell me you love me, girl, you. Tell me you love me, girl, you. Tell me you love me, girl, you. Tell me you love me, is it true? Is it true? Is it? You telling me. Have you ever seen the separation? You're the only one drawing lines without hesitation. All the borders but an illusion is segregation. All the colors you claim a place of your dedication. And if it was everything, would you feel the pressure summoned up in the wedding ring? Tell it to forever, it's the glow forever green. True the word is spoken, but I heard that they haven't seen. Take away the burden just to bring you a better thing. So what is it giving me? And why you forgiving me? We're living the terror, one unaware of the tendency. The heart is mighty tender, I don't call it a currency. Concurrently, you're keeping way away from your energy. The power to talk to the highest tower, the method that every man is the feelings that I devour. The courage beyond the cower, I'm seeing you turn this out. Percussion, the repercussion, discussion, let's get it louder like you. Tell me you love me, girl, you. Tell me you love me, girl, you. Tell me you love me, girl, you. Tell me you love me, is it true? Is it? Do you believe in me? Saying that this all within my wound have been cleaning me. When really it's reversing all the pressures repeatedly. Feeling this emergence from the surface is freeing me. Finding there's a purpose in the pain you were bringing me. Constantly seeking remission and wishing that better would come. Leaving and grieving and saying that I am that everything under the sun. Doing this for my betterment. Now it is evident I am the one. Seem like I'm giving my everything, praying and saying the kingdom will come. Saying the boy is a gun. Woo. Saying I wanted to run. Silence from everyone else. Shepherd the son of a shun. You don't. Tell me you love me, girl. You tell me you love me, girl. You tell me you love me, girl. You tell me you love me. Is it? You tell me you love me, girl. You tell me you love me, girl. You tell me you love me, girl. You tell me you love me. Is it true? Is it true or is it? That was one.
Oh my god! I can't believe you just did that. Like, is it a butt? Get this man a deal. I would cry.
Deal or no
But
deal?
but I can't cry right now. But I would. Just know that's how much I enjoyed that.
Oh, thank you. You want another one?
Let's go again.
Let's go again. Let's see. I'm gonna play the pleasure melody. Feels good to me. It feels good to you. Feels good to me. It feels good to me. So good to me. It feels good to you. Feel good to me. It feels good to me. So good to me. It feels good to you. Feels good to me. It feels good to me. So good. So good. Maybe another one. Okay, wait. Let me see. Let's just spit bars, okay. Wind blow, got to stay down like 10 toes, 6 feet deep. Make the map for the info, sweet like simple. Peace like temple, dark like moonlight, hiss like symbol. Shake and tremble, mambo, mango, tango, mental. Make that music instrumental. How you make the sound bite down too loud, pipe down for the kinfolk. Sharp like vein, gold in the crown. Lost my mind, it ain't never been found. Freedom got the ring, can you even hear the sound? Got ounce like bars, we could get another pound. We could go another round. Take it all back to the fact that the man is a noun, is a simple concept. Did you ever get down to the logic? Tragic, thinking that you might have forgot it. So robotic, hypnophonic, informatic, static, sonic, way too wired. Seem so tired, burn it all down and forget inspired. Ay, so desired, make it worth more than the dollar. Might have to pull this back by the collar. Can't come farther, so you can't get higher. If you don't go there, then you can't be bothered. This, that starter, make that fire, burn like fodder. Staying on top, that's a better like Crocker. Black in the field, no, not a sharecropper. Said it too proper, came from the dirt, then the aim for the work. This the stain for the shirt, and the pain for the verse, and the aim for the. And even with the heartbreak faking like you say you did, it hurt cause the self-love came first. I'm about to blow up, bang like a starburst. Hey, go ahead, Basic. Tell them what it's worth. Go on, tell them what it's worth. Go on, tell them what it's worth. Hey, it's worth this, earth this, earth is worth this, earth this, earth this, earth that's worth this, earth this, earth is worth this, earth something like that.
Just imagine everyone watching this clapping. It's more than me, I swear. Everyone's
Yeah, I believe it.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Do you have any last remarks, advice, cool spiritual things to say, and shout outs?
Shout out the homie Leak Molly, shout out John Tyler, shout out to D-Wood, shout out Baltimore, shout out Tisha, shout out Lil Baby Indy, shout out all you lovely people out there, I guess if I had some like parting words, live in the moment, do what makes you happy. No one makes it out this game alive, and don't forget it's a game, play to win. You know what I'm saying? Play to win.
Wise words. Very wise.
Take it easy, y'all.
Bye.
Peace.